Juno and the Paycock is one of the great plays of the 20th century. It's one of the great iconic play of all time.
Order for the song! Order for the song!
Come on, Mary, you do your best. Home to our mountains, let us return, dear, there in thy young days, peace had its reign.
This play examines what people go through when they're stripped down to their rawest emotion, when their circumstances are that dire.
Sean O'Casey was born and bred and raised in a tenement, like the tenement that's behind me. He knew what he was talking about.
It's a wondrous play about a family, really.
In Dublin in the 20s during the Irish Civil War. It's about a husband and wife who quarrel and are always having spats, but they're really torn by all the struggles that they've had, and they face all these really difficult challenges during the story.
Maybe I didn't feel sorry enough for Mrs. Tancred when her poor son was found as Johnny's being found now. Because he was a diehard. And why didn't I remember that then he wasn't a diehard or a stater, but only a poor dead son?
Them was days, Joxer. Them was days. Nothing was too hot or too heavy for me then. Sailing from the Gulf of Mexico to the Antarctic Ocean. I've seen things, Joxer. I've seen things that no mortal man should speak about that knows his catechism.
Well, the character of Juno is a role that I've always admired and been interested in from afar. I'm a mother myself, and it seems like the quintessential mother role. It's about a woman who would do anything to protect her children, and her children really go through everything hard you could imagine.
One inside to St. Anthony's isn't enough, but you need to have another one to the Virgin here.
Where's the captain? Where's the captain, Mrs. Boyle?
You may well ask a body that. He's wherever Joxer Daly is, drinking in some snog or another.
The character I play in Juno the Paycock is the perfect example of, with a friend like Joxer, who needs enemies. He's an ambulance chaser, a bottom feeder of the ultimate persuasion, and a great guy to be around.
What are you wearing your moleskin trousers for?
I have to go to a job. Shortly after you left, Divine comes rolling in to say that if I go to that job that's going on down in Rathmines, I get a start.
Peter Holy, that's good news.
Good news? Why is it good news? I wonder if you're in my condition, you'd call it good news.
I thought
You think too sudden sometimes. Don't you know?
I love Maisie. She's full of humour, she's full of spirit, she's a strong-willed person, very funny, loves a party, but she's also one of the women who holds the other women up when they're down. And Maisie, when she drops in, she's up for a party at all times. She loves a dance, a song, a joke, a good time.
And on the top treetops I there built my nest, and at night I would sleep on my Willie's white breast.
Captain Boyle is one of the great comic creations by Sean O'Casey. He's a man who spends most of his time in the pubs when suddenly somebody arrives in and says that a cousin has died and he's in for the money. And boy, do things change after that moment.
And how much will come out of it, Mr. Benton?
The executives told me that half the property would be anything between £1,500 and £2,000.
A fortune, father, a fortune!
We'll be able to get out of this place now and go somewhere we're not known.
You won't have to trouble about a job for a while, Jack.
I'll never doubt the goodness of God again.
I congratulate you, Mr. Boyle.
Mr. Benton, you'll have to have a wet.
A wet?
A wet, a jar, a bowl.
Jack, you're speaking to Mr. Bentham now, not to Joxer.
I think it's an incredibly relevant play. The second act after the windfall, where suddenly the house is festooned with flowers and new furniture and that in fact is the Celtic tiger. That's what happened to Ireland. And then now, where the last moments of this play represent what Ireland might be today.
I think Juno is considered a great play because Juno and the Paycock is a great play. Great comedy, huge family dynamics which are interesting to anybody, tragedy, conflict, troubles. It's amazing. It has everything.
Even though there's great humor, the tragedy and drama and substance of the story is of classic proportions.
And right now, in 2013, it's just as relevant as it was then. And that's why it's one of the great plays, just like Shakespeare, just like all the great classics. It is one of the great classics.
I would rather do this play than almost any other play I know, and I've done a lot of plays.
I think the reason that this theatre was built was to put on Juno and the Paycock.